Yo, what up, my dudes? Long time no see, even though I'm not seeing you and you're seeing me. This is the Cycle 6 reflection, and I wrote a blog post. I don't know if I need to scan it. This is what I'll say. It was really interesting. So, last cycle, I had that manic episode, and when I made the plan for Cycle 6, I was actually still a little manic. And then right on day one, I started transitioning into a depressive episode. And I got anhedonia, anhedonic. I had never learned that word here. I got the definition of anhedonia, a psychological condition characterized by inability to experience pleasure in normally pleasurable acts. So what happened is maybe on like day 5 or something, like I wasn't playing, I didn't want to play video games, I didn't want to read, I didn't want to go out, I didn't want to do anything. I just like laid, there's a couch here, I'll show you. I just laid on that couch and stared at the ceiling. Like that's how I was doing it for a lot of days. And I think it was because, I mean, a part of it is just, I think it's a natural transition from mania to depression. But I was also taking, I got a shot of something every 2 weeks that I think was also messing me up, because when I stopped getting it, like 2 weeks later, I started feeling better. So I think it was a combination of just the natural cycle of mania and depression plus the medication. I don't know. It took me a number of days. I think it was on day 58, late October, when I started feeling a little bit better. And during that time, I stopped journaling. I wasn't running. Maybe I was running here and there with Magda when she wanted to run. But yeah, it was. There was one part of the Cycle 6 plan. I had all this other stuff, but one part was like just recover. And that's basically all that happened this cycle. So I was out of it for a number of days. When I finally started feeling better, I should dedicate a whole blog post to this, but I became an OBC onboard courier. I don't know how much I should get into it, but basically I got this job that supposedly pays $2,500 US. I haven't gotten paid yet. Part of that's on me. It took me a long time to send the invoice and my banking information, but it was really weird. I got a call from a friend. You want to make some easy money? I was like, okay. He put me in touch with this other guy who has a courier business, a shipping company, and he was like, I need somebody to go from Taipei to Chicago tomorrow. And I was like, all right. I'll travel in the middle of a pandemic for $2,500. And a part of it, like, I was just really curious. I'm like, what is this? Is this real? So the next day I had a ticket to Chicago. Like, it was the evening. I sent him my passport, and the next day I had a ticket to Chicago. I had to go to the airport and meet a guy who took me to this other area of the airport where I got 8 boxes. They were about this big, and I bought some bags to put them in. So I got these 8 boxes, took them through customs in Taipei, checked them in like it was my own luggage in these bags. I had 3 bags, so I had to pay a little bit. Flew to Chicago, and it was crazy. Because of the pandemic, nobody is leaving Taiwan. Like, the plane was empty. I swear there were more, what do you call them, stewardesses and everything on the plane than actual people. Like, the row I was in on this plane, there was nobody in the whole row. Like, I was at the window, so from me to the other window, it was empty, and like most rows were like that. So I flew to Chicago. In Chicago, I had to go through customs. They sent me a form. So I went through customs in Chicago, and then I met a guy at the airport who was, had a picture, like had my name, like Casey. So I gave him all the boxes, had him sign a little document. And I stayed in a hotel in Chicago for 2 days, and then I flew back, and then I had to stay in quarantine here in Taipei. It's mandatory quarantine for everybody when you come from out of the country and you have to stay, you either need to stay in a room at your house that has its own bathroom, which we have, but like Magda, my wife, that's like I would have to be the only person in that room. So I stayed in a quarantine hotel for 14 days. And it was interesting. I think I said this already, but right before I got this opportunity is when I started feeling a little bit better. Then I traveled, I was in quarantine, got out of quarantine, slowly started journaling again, blah, 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 whatever. And I'll like just say a little bit of the final, I have some final thoughts here on the blog post, but we'll see what comes out in video. But what I, like a little bit ago, I asked myself, like, why am I doing this 108, like this 108 thing? What's the deal with me coming up with this whole system for stuff? And specific for me is being like my bipolar is like it's like of people who, like, first of all, like the percentage of people who have bipolar, I think in the US, maybe worldwide, is something in the, maybe, I forget, 3% to 5% range, something like that. But then there, you know, there's all levels. There's bipolar 1, bipolar 2, there's 3, 4, and 5 now, you know, so like there's different levels of severity. I think most people have bipolar 2, I believe, which is you experience hypomania, which is like lower form of mania, and then mostly depression. So I think most people have bipolar 2. I have bipolar 1, but then so that's already a smaller group of all the people with bipolar, I believe, I'm pretty sure. And then of the group of people with bipolar 1, I am like most people with bipolar 1, I think, experience hospitalization. I think the average maybe is like 1 or 2 or 3 times in their lifetime. And I'm on like number, I don't even know, man, I'm losing count. I'm like number, I've had, you know, like over 10, like I don't know if it's 13 or 14 now, but where I've been hospitalized. And, you know, being hospitalized is really, or just having a manic episode. This last time I stayed out of the hospital somehow, but hospital or not, it's really disruptive. And in the past, it's taken me anywhere from like 6 months to a year and a half, where like a lot of times, you know, I just totally get off the internet. Like I'm just laid out at my mom's house or my grandma's house. One time I was at my friend's house, and I just don't do anything. And you know, that period of time, like I said, it's like 6 months to a year and a half. Year and a half is like the longest one. Usually they're like close to a year, which when you know, add that times 10, that's a lot of time. But doing these little 108-day things, the 108-day cycle ends up being 4 months in total. Like I've kind of found a way to like restart life faster. So that's the one thing, the restart factor. And then the second thing is the learning factor. So, dude, it sucks that it's taken me 20 years to figure this out, but it's not, I found like some information, like science information about it, like a study published in 2015 that was a collection of studies. Anyway, the point being is this last episode I had during cycle 5, I've always thought that exercise or running, specifically running, I like running, would help keep my high levels lower. And I've always thought that, but I guess it's just not true. Even though, so all throughout the years, like when I start getting manic, either I'm already running or I'll start running, and I think I can just run, like if I run further, that will make me tired and bring my energy back down. And that's just, it's never been true, but I've never noticed it. But this last time, like, because I'm tracking everything, I just found out that it's not true. Like, there was one day I ran, you know, like 16 miles or something, or more, trying to bring my energy down. And then the day before that, I might have ran 12, and then the, you know, day after that, maybe I ran 8. Like, I ran a lot. And I thought, oh, that'll bring my energy down. But it doesn't. It makes it worse. And that's what this study has found, that for some people, exercise can make hypomania or mania worse. And no one ever told me that. Like, I had to learn it the hard way. So having these, like, you know, these where I reflect, whether make a video or, you know, I read my old stuff or whatever, it's helped me kind of learn more efficiently, learn better, and then again have a ritualized period of time where I like reboot in the event of a manic episode. I've had 2 since I've started doing this 108 thing. And then a third thing, I didn't really write this down, but, you know, like I'm right now able to see, I call this cycle 6, but it's really like cycle 10. I just officially started calling them cycles 6 cycles ago. But like looking at each cycle and my notes, either whether it's from my pen and paper journal or blog post or what I write down, or, you know, thoughts other places, like I can see where my mind is going. I'll probably talk about this more in the plan, but I appear to finally be settling. It's, you know, I have, you know, however many years of YouTube. Shit, man, where does it go? Like 14 years back. Before that, I was blogging, then journaling. Like I have all this, you know, content material, kind of a lot of it for myself, where I've had different ideas and different things I want to work on. Then I'll get sidetracked and zip and zing and do this and do that. But it looks like this 108-day cycle thing is really starting to settle that. It might be too by like getting older. Like I've always been told that the mania hasn't really gotten better for me as I've gotten older. I mean, it was just this year that I had a manic episode, but maybe older, like my thinking is, one thing I'm like, man, I'm tired of having manic episodes. I don't want to do that anymore. Which, oddly enough, I don't think I've ever really thought that. I always was like, oh, manic episode. So what else? Yeah, like I feel like this 108 thing I'm doing is kind of a lifelong project. The idea is to do 108 108s, which is 36 years. I'll be 70 something when I'm done with the project. And throughout, the idea is to like kind of, you know, formalize it into a system that other people can either use how I lay it out or use it as a model for creating their own system. I actually, I mean, a lot of the different elements of my system, which I don't have really written out anywhere yet, but are borrowed from a lot of other different systems I've messed with over time. I thought this video was going to be short, but I think that all the time. I have no idea how long it is. I can't see the clock on there, but there's my cycle 6 reflection. If you want to read about it, the blog post is below, and my plan will be coming up in a week or 2, and I'll probably have some kind of content production inside of my plan. I think at minimum, at minimum, there will always be 6 videos for me a year. At minimum. I'm sure that will change cycle to cycle, but I think I really want to make writing a core element of my daily rituals, and I'll probably publish said writing. I guess I'm like thinking about my plan right now, so whatever, reflection's done. Now I'm kind of like brainstorming my plan, but I think I want to do 2 things. One, I want to do a weekly report of sorts of how my plan is going, like maybe if I'm running, how many miles I did that week. If I'm like, I plan on formally studying Chinese again. I have a reason, which I'll talk about later, but like how many new characters or new vocabulary words I learned, or maybe just, you know, I thought it might be cool to I don't know who this will be useful for, but like maybe I'll make a video, make it unlisted, but post it as a part of my update where I just like read these like sections of the, you know, of the book. Every chapter has a little you know, a little dialogue to read, and I could read that, practice. Boom. Anyhow, cycle 7 plan coming up. Questions, comments, whatever, I'll check them out in this video. That's it. Love you guys. Hope you're I hope you've adjusted to pandemic life well, wherever you're at. You know, like different places have been hit and affected differently, but it seems all over the world there's been, you know, serious changes to daily life. Anyhow, love you guys. See you in a couple days or week or whatever. Alrighty. Peace.